Alright, let's start off as Jose Luis would have. Who are we?
EOP!
Who are we?
EOP!
Who are we?
EOP!
That's right. Alright, so I can't start this without acknowledging Jose Luis Vargas, who we are all grieving for and who was one of my greatest mentors for 16 years. And so when Gina asked me if I would be the speaker tonight, one of the first things I thought was it's going to be really strange to be at this event, which I've been at every year without Jose Luis there. And so maybe I can somehow, channel his spirit and think about what he would want to say to, where are you? To Tika and to Mario. Where's Mario? So I can actually, Mario and Otto. Where is Otto? Okay, so I can, because I'm speaking to everyone, but especially the three of you. And so, I still talk to Jose Luis. You can say I'm crazy, but I talk to him and he talks to me. And I said, what am I going to say? The speech teacher is speechless. What can I possibly say to these fabulous three young people who have beat all the odds and done such amazing things and who we love? And he said, just make sure they know how proud we are. Make sure they know how proud I am of them, how proud you are, how proud everyone in the program is. So my theme for this brief few minutes that I get to speak to you is be proud. I want you to be incredibly, incredibly, loudly, shamelessly proud of yourself and what you have accomplished, and that comes from me and Jose. So the theme of my talk is be proud, and I'm gonna share two things about being proud. One, be proud now. And two, how to be proud forever, to live a life that will keep you proud of who you are forever, and as a representative of EOP as well, to be proud. So I have to have audience participation, so I brought a little prop.
Yeah.
So when I put this up, I want everybody to shout as loud as you can, be proud. When you feel negative and down on yourself, remind yourself of all the things you have to be proud of. So Tika and Otto and Mario, I want you to think every day, I am so proud of what I've accomplished. I am amazing. I have beat the odds. I have done something that very few people have been able to do, and we're going to work together to help more people be able to do that, and I'm proud of my role in that. So be proud in your own mind, but also be proud on the outside. And what I mean by that is tell everybody you meet that you're a college graduate. Why not, right? Brag about it. Talk about what you have your degree in. You know that only 1/3 of the U.S. population has a bachelor's degree or higher? So you're now in this elite one. You can look up the statistic. It really is true. Look it up and confirm it. But you are now in the elite 1/3 that has a bachelor's degree, that has a college university education. So be proud of that. And tell people, when it comes up in conversation, talk about your college experience. All your life. When you're 95 years old and you're hunched over and telling your great-grandkids stories, I want you to start them with, when I was in college, okay? Because I want everyone to know for the rest of your life, where's Tika and Otto and Mario, that you are a college graduate. That says so much. You worked hard, you studied, you're intelligent, you're knowledgeable. Use it. Tell it to yourself and tell it to everyone who's willing to listen to you tell that story, okay? So, my first point is, in your own mind and in your conversations with people, tell them you have a college degree and
Be proud!
Thank you. All right, so now, how can I share with you in a couple minutes what I think it takes to lead a life that you can be proud of for the rest of your life? For me, it comes down to 4 things. So I'll quickly share those 4 things with you, but I also want to share on a personal note that this is an interesting time for me to be giving this talk, because it's exactly 25 years ago for me that I graduated with my bachelor's degree. And it was hard for me. It was not an easy journey. I was a first-generation college student. I didn't grow up knowing a soul who had a bachelor's degree. I didn't know the word. I didn't know the concept. No one in my family, no one in my neighborhood or my community. So when I first came to Cal State Northridge, I came all by myself. I drove to the campus. I tried to figure out where to go, and I just left crying in tears, just not feeling like I fit in, not having any sense that I would belong here or that I could make my way here. So now, 25 years later, after that, it's pretty interesting to reflect on how I did belong here, you all belong here, we all belong here. But it takes a while to figure that out and to find your way. So once you graduate, how can you live a life that you can be proud of? Here are my 4 top things. Relationships, work, meaningful work, being an optimist, and giving back. Okay, so I'll talk about each very briefly. Relationships are more important than anything else. Our culture will not tell you that. Advertisers certainly won't tell you that. The media won't tell you that, okay? The people in your life who love you and care for you are more important than your job, what car you drive, what clothes you wear, what your title is, all of that, okay? And it doesn't matter who those relationships are with. It could be biological family, it could be the family that you create, that you find on your own, and the people that you connect with. It could be children that you have in the future if you choose to. It could be your significant other. But you will come across many crossroads and moments in your life where you'll have to make that choice. And you'll have to decide, am I going to prioritize a person in my life who's important to me, who I want to know that I care for, or am I going to make the wrong choice, in my opinion, and prioritize, you know, I don't know, working a 90-hour week, or, you know, and so I really cannot emphasize enough. And sometimes we have to work 90-hour weeks. I do once in a while, but you can't do it every week, right? So when you're faced with those choices, do your best to prioritize your relationships, because I can tell you as a communication scholar that the people who are happiest and the people who are most successful have strong, loving, supportive relationships in their life. And it's incredibly hard to do anything in life without that. But you have to make the choice to prioritize those relationships, okay? Whoever they may be in your life. So 2, once your relationships are a priority, and you've got them taken care of, it is about work, and it is about meaningful work. So I have students come to me all the time and say, I don't know what to do, I'm choosing between different careers, what should I do? They want me to give them an answer, right? They want me to say, you should be a psychologist, and you should be an accountant. I never ever say that. I don't even say you should be a communication studies major, because I don't know. What I ask is, what are you passionate about? Right? Those of you who are, you're all mentors, and what do you love? What gets you really excited? That's your answer. That's where you go. Okay, it might be challenging now. You have to figure out, how do you pursue that? How do you make a life, a career out of that? But I can tell you from personal experience, when I told people, tripping over my be proud, when I told people that I was going to major in communication studies, you can imagine, right, the responses, well, what on earth are you going to do with a degree in communication studies? And my answer was even worse than saying I was getting my degree in communication studies, because my answer was, I have no idea. And then even worse, I went on to get my master's degree in communication studies. And then people really said, what the hell are you going to do with a master's degree in communication? And still, I said, I don't know. The only answer I could give was, I am fascinated by communication and relationships. I'm passionate about them. I love learning about them. I actually like taking tests on communication. Nothing else, by the way, did I like taking tests on. So I followed that, and it turned into a wonderful career for me. Okay, now I'm not saying throw all, caution to the wind. You should have a plan. You should have a vision for your life. But if you choose to follow your passion and trust in that, I believe that it will work out for you. So now I have 25 years of teaching here, teaching in communication studies. A couple of you have had classes with me. I hope you can see that I'm still passionate about it. I love talking about communication. I love teaching communication. And so people say, well, there's no money in teaching. That's true. But I never followed the money. I followed my passion. And what I learned along the way is, I can also do training on the side. So I work for big companies and do training for good money so that I can help my kids, have a comfortable life and go through college. But I never did it for the money. It was always about teaching communication, whether it's in the corporate world or here at the university. So follow your passion, find work that's meaningful, but I also want to use my husband as an example, because people say, oh, you're a teacher, and that's so meaningful, and that's so important, and what if I just want to be, I don't know, a computer programmer, or an accountant, or something like that? Is that really meaningful? Absolutely. Any career you choose, if you're passionate about it, and you find opportunities to make a difference in that field, that's what you're meant to do. So my husband, he runs an insurance investigations company. Sounds pretty boring. It's actually pretty interesting sometimes, because they spy on people, things like that. But it's not the most exciting, thrilling, and when you tell people, oh, I'm insurance, they're like, oh, okay, who next? Who can I talk to next? That's boring. But what he loves about his job is that he runs a business where he has 7 employees who work for him. And he's an amazing mentor to his employees. He teaches them so much. They come to him with their personal problems. They look to him to help them work through their work-life balance issues. Many of the people who work for him are young women who have young children who want to work from home, and he allows that flexibility. So for him, even though it's just, an insurance business, he finds this great meaning in mentoring opportunities and the ability to make a difference in the world. So find meaningful work, have good relationships, be an optimist, okay? Life is tough. Don't get me wrong, okay? I've struggled with many things in life. I've struggled this semester with losing Jose Luis. It was really, really hard on me, as it was for many of you, and going to school that next week and feeling this just surreal feeling of this can't even be happening, and crying at random moments when I shouldn't have been and I didn't expect to be crying. Life is hard and things happen that shouldn't, and that we don't know how to process and we don't know how to deal with. But I still believe that we can be optimistic. I still believe that we can focus on what's possible, what can be done, how we can continue without Jose Luis. We have to, how we can keep things going, how we can work together. I believe that if we look at the possibilities rather than the barriers, we'll be better able to serve. We can't deny the barriers, but we can't focus on them and ruminate on them, okay? So be an optimist. There's a great TED Talk, if you like TED Talks, by a man named Sean Achor, who studies happiness. He's a Harvard researcher. And his studies show that if your brain is in a positive mindset, you will be 31% more productive than if you're in a negative mindset. He says negative, neutral, or stressed mindset. All the negative mindsets, 31% more positive. So when you're studying for finals or when you're going for that job interview, if you have a negative attitude, you're far more likely to fail at whatever it is, to just be blunt about it, to be honest about it. And it's hard to get yourself in that positive mindset when there are difficulties. But trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it to try. And finally, giving back, and I know this is the wrong crowd to say this to, because you all are giving back, and you're all mentors for your peers, and you're making wonderful contributions to this program. But what I can say is that after you graduate, it becomes more of a conscious effort to give back. So when I was a student here at Cal State Northridge, I was an orientation leader, I was a student leader and associated students. I did all kinds of things, and once I graduated, those opportunities didn't just show up at my door. I had to go out and find opportunities to give back. I had to make the time in my schedule to volunteer. I had to go to people like Jose Luis and say, how can I help more? How can I be part of EOP? So you will have to make the effort to give back, but Tika, Mario, Otto, and everyone who's looking at graduation, I really encourage you to do so, because as you know, it provides an unparalleled sense of joy and meaning and purpose in your life. The times when I've been at my lowest and been most down about things, nothing helps me more than helping someone else and realizing I need to stick around, I need to still be part of things, because I can help other people, even if I'm feeling like things aren't going great for me. So focus on, prioritize your relationships, find meaningful work that allows you to take advantage of your passion and enjoy your passion. Enjoy children, that's what life is all about. And be an optimist and always give back. And so I started by talking about Jose Luis. I learned so much from him over the years. He definitely is with us here now. I hope you can feel his presence. I feel his presence. And I wanted to end by sharing with you something that he really liked to read. I think I heard him read it on a couple of occasions, and you probably maybe heard it before. It's a piece by Michael Josephson, who Jose Luis Vargas and I shared a love for, and we talked about many times. So I'm going to share this piece that he wrote called What Will Matter. And that will be my final word, and then you can enjoy more cake and conversation. Ready or not, someday it will all come to an end. There will be no more sunrises, no minutes, hours, or days. All the things you collected, whether treasured or forgotten, will pass to someone else. Your wealth, fame, and temporal power will shrivel to irrelevance. It will not matter what you owned or what you were owed. Your grudges, resentments, frustrations, and jealousies will finally disappear. So too, your hopes, ambitions, plans, and to-do lists will expire. The wins and losses that once seemed so important will fade away. It won't matter where you came from or what side of the tracks you lived on at the end. It won't matter whether you were beautiful or brilliant. Even your gender and skin color will be irrelevant. So what will matter? How will the value of your days be measured? What will matter is not what you bought, but what you built. Not what you got, but what you gave. What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learned, but what you taught. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enriched, empowered, or encouraged others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people you knew, but how many people will feel a lasting loss when you're gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories that live in those who loved you. What will matter is how long you will be remembered, by whom, and for what. Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident. It's not a matter of circumstance, but of choice. Choose to live a life that matters. And those words come directly from José Luis because he shared them with us several times and they meant a lot to him. So we all are here to celebrate you, to acknowledge this amazing accomplishment, and to encourage you on your path. So I'll be bugging you about grad school. I've already asked each of you, what are you thinking about grad school? Okay, so we're not letting you go anywhere. We're not letting you go far without checking in and making sure that you know that your EOP family is here for you always. This is a family, and we wish you all the best, and we tell you as you move forward to your graduation and beyond, we all want you to
Be proud!
Thank you.